Every object has a good story to tell, but how do you turn that good story into good business? Welcome to the Everledger platform. Using blockchain and IoT technology, we shine a light on all the unique steps that make your product, its origins, its journey, the reasons to love it. Everledger helps everyone to trust what they buy. Our secure platform unboxes the lifetime story of any product, from diamonds to clothes to wine bottles and electric vehicle batteries, to grow sales and protect your brand against counterfeiting. You can generate new demand from like-minded suppliers and buyers, showcase your sustainability record, and make claims with backed-up evidence about the reasons to love your product, and invite partners and customers to tap into your world. Fully customizable, secure by blockchain technology, and faster than ever. Make transparency a good story for your business with the Everledger platform.
Diamonds? QNT? Diamonds? That sounds crazy. No, I'm not referring to Leo X and the Galileo protocol. I'm actually talking about a bigger picture for the Quant network. So much bigger than just CBDCs and this whole thing about APIs. There's something there when it comes to Quant. When we say connecting to everything, even infrastructure for cities, smart cities. Smash the like if you haven't done so already. Before we jump into all the material, it is the Decent Wallet. There's been some significant discounts and updates. So check out this brief ad and we'll jump right back.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. So just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
All right, welcome back. Let's jump into the material. Here we go. First thing we're going to pull up is this Quant and Diamonds, believe it or not. So on an AI search, if you search for this thing called Everledger, yeah, I know, sounds similar to Overledger, it comes up with this. It says Everledger is actually involved in the ISO TC307 Technical Committee, which focuses on standardizing blockchain. And of course, we know the gist when it comes to that. Okay, what's the involvement of Everledger? Everledger is a company specializing in blockchain tech, actively participates and contributes to the work of ISO TC 307. All right, interesting to see that as well. Well, basically, a while back, I covered an outline, if you guys remember it, about Halborn. And Halborn shows that Halborn is a company that Everledger is associated with and is involved in the development of blockchain security standards, of course, with ISO TC 307. Interesting to see that. Okay, so what is this whole thing about Everledger? Well, here is their website. It is everledger.io. It says watch the video on Everledger's critical minerals pilot with the Australian government. So it says here, the Everledger platform where supply chain meets the blockchain. Everledger is the digital transparency company providing tech solutions to increase transparency in global supply chains. When we think about this terminology, I mean, for me, if anything, XDC comes to the top of the list. But even in the screenshot on the left, you see here, for example, that app for Everledger. So purpose is to contribute greater clarity and confidence in the marketplaces where transparency is a strategic imperative. All right, what else we got here? Well, Pearls of Australia uses Providence platform. Of course, find out more. And again, I wish I could play this video. I got hit with the copyright thing on that, unfortunately. But you're more than welcome to check it out for yourself. So, will this truly help everyone to trust in what they buy? Well, Gilbert Verdian pointed out the whole thing of the Internet of Value and the Internet of Trust. But this sounds interesting to me because people point out in the past, whether it's olive oil or it's wine or any of these types of things, they want to know if they're getting the real deal, the real McCoy. They don't like the idea that it's not verifiable, or as Gilbert Verdian's point out, future-proof. All right, so to answer the question, is the ISO standard of Australia, the official one I should say, Well, is it ISO TC 307? And Google responds with an answer of yes. Australia manages the Secretariat for ISO TC 307, the Quant network standard.
My name's Leanne Kemp and I'm the founder and CEO of Everledger. And we're an emerging technology company using blockchain, smart contracts and machine vision to reduce fraud in open marketplaces and assist in the reduction of risk for banks and insurance companies. The reduction of fraud in our industry is driven from an aggregation of data and a reduction in document tampering. The current architecture that sits in markets at the moment are legacy systems, and that data is siloed. And so with blockchain, with distributed data, with the ability to have federated consensus of agreements in terms of the submission of data, then this technology enables us to be able to provide a solution to market that hasn't been seen before today. So we started with diamonds and we did something really quite innovative. We created a digital thumbprint of the diamond. We incarnated that physical object into the blockchain. So we can see where they're sold and resold online in open marketplaces. But when you think about where this technology could go, it's a natural fit that you would go from diamonds to sapphires and to rubies. But actually, when you really think about it at the very core, we can start to apply this to other asset classes. Things that are actually rising in value and that are really quite appetizing to fraud. So wine, art, watches, maybe even motor vehicles. The Kimberley process, so the United Nations came together in the year 2000 and put together a landmark decision. And then in the year 2003, a three-step verification process was introduced, where mining countries, as they exported diamonds, needed to provide a full declaration of the stones, the weight, the tax codes, and the values. The rough diamond segment is 327 million carats of diamonds annualized through import and export procedures. And as a part of that process, the issuance of certifications is paper-based. An embossing stamp and a fax machine is used to transact trade. To enable that digitally is 50,000 certificates. Now, you're never going to risk this by being just able to take a blockchain and throw it to a cloud service provider. We needed to be sure that if we're transacting on a high-value item with government offices, we needed to show to the world that blockchain was ready. And then as we started to think about what we needed to provide in terms of a high security network, we had to think just beyond the cool tech of blockchain. We had to think about how could we take this technology, deploy it into a cloud, and ensure that it scaled securely and that, of course, it was tamper-proof. So that's why we chose IBM. They're the one provider that really and truly understands transactional security at scale. I can't do it alone, but I can do it on platforms that have been built, that are rigid, that are scalable, and are secure.
So today's event, navigating electric vehicle battery or EVB regulatory compliance with the battery passport, presented by Everledger, the digital transparency company with blockchain services hosted by Oracle. And also welcoming participation today from the European Commission, as well as the California Environmental Protection Agency and Ford Motor Company. My name is Eric and I lead product marketing here at Everledger. And if you're new to us, we are an independent technology company helping businesses to surface and converge asset information by using secure technologies, including blockchain, artificial intelligence, intelligent labeling, and the Internet of Things. At Everledger, our purpose is to contribute greater clarity and confidence really in those marketplaces where transparency matters the most. And so we're engaged globally in the circular value chain for batteries, and that's especially true with regard to their second life.
This solution has been working with industry associations and experts to inform the solution. Most of you are probably familiar or a member of at least one of the consortiums in the top row here. The Global Battery Alliance, NatBat, which is the Advanced Transportation Battery Alliance, Suppliers Partnership, and also the International Federation of Automotive Engineering Societies, which is FACETA. And what's really given us also tremendous insight, actually beyond our own industry, are these associations in the second row, including the Automotive Recyclers Association, the Automotive Service Association, which are independent garages, and the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries, which also has many members in the auto dismantling and recycling business. I have European Battery Alliance grayed out here only because our application is being processed right now. And I'll touch on the pilots on the next slide. Battery Industry Group is a New Zealand initiative to create a producer responsibility scheme in New Zealand. And we worked with stakeholders in the Battery Industry Group to develop recommendations for this product stewardship scheme. Working with Audi, we demonstrated how the battery passport can streamline compliance. And now those recommendations have been sent to the Ministry of Environment for review. And this project has really been particularly beneficial in our platform development, since New Zealand imports a large number of used vehicles. And so those batteries in those vehicles are what we call orphans, or batteries that were born without a digital identity. So we were able to demonstrate how we could digitize those batteries and track and capture information to share with stakeholders for final recovery and recycling. The Future Battery Industries Cooperative Research Center is a program in Australia. Australia is very rich in battery mineral resources. We've been working with the FBI CRC to authenticate responsibly sourced Australian battery minerals. And this will guide our work in the next release of the battery passport, where we'll be tracing minerals from the mine, as Matt explained. And we already do that with diamonds and gemstones. So we'll be using similar technology. Next slide, please. Abel went through some of the specifics on the European battery regulation. Happy to send a link to anybody. There's a chart in there that looks a little bit like this one, but that shows what the key recommendations are. So I just wanted to point out some things specifically and how the battery passport can support that. So one is recycling, specific recycling efficiency for lithium-ion batteries of 65%. And that's for the whole battery. And then material recovery rates, very aggressive for cobalt, nickel, lithium, and copper. And by leveraging mass balance algorithms, we can certify materials recovered from a recycling process to verify that those materials that a manufacturer is buying are in fact recycled and can meet those requirements. A mandatory carbon footprint declaration, another thing that Abel mentioned. And the platform can calculate and validate the GHG footprint from mine to recycling, saving a lot of time and effort for stakeholders. They just post evidence that we can validate on the blockchain. And moving down to the electronic information system and making information available to end users, that's really what our platform is all about. Blockchain, as Matt explained, enables all the participants in the value chain to access and securely share critical battery data on a permission basis.
Thank you so much for tuning in. As the saying goes, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.